happens when you get presented a job is they'll give you like the agreement.
For those who don't know what type of job we're talking
about. We're talking like acting wise, and obviously actor, you know, creative, freelance, whatever you want to call it, innit? So say my agent gets me a job, innit? We're talking the acting world. And then your agent obviously lets you know, like, cool, this is the role. You obviously know about your fee, innit? So you'll get your fee. And what it is this basically like a breakdown of what's going to happen, like your shoot day, this and that. So I did the job up in Ireland. So me and obviously the cast members involved in the job, we go do said job, innit? Now, the main thing, and this is one problem that man should have seen from early, was that usually you're meant to get the agreement or contract, whatever the job is, they're going to give you that. And basically, you get that contract, you know what you're going to do, innit?
Who gets contract? You or your agent?
Well, same way, both parties, innit? My agent represents me. So your agent will get their contract, so then they send it to you. You see it, boom, 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 XYZ, this what it is, this what you're getting. You know who's doing it, obviously who's processing it, doing it. So cool. So this is basically the same thing with ball. You get your contract, you know what it is before you start playing with them or you're training with them, innit? So we didn't get that. And I should have seen it from time, but it's one of those things where, you know, sometimes you get job, you're like, oh, cool, job, get it, nice, it's nice. Like, you know, okay, one audition, it went well, and you get a little bit excited, innit? Long story short, obviously, long and behold now, I learned my lesson, but also it's like you trust your agent, but there's also going to be some things your agent's not going to know, innit? So we obviously knew down the line we should have got the agreement beforehand. We don't do the job without getting the agreement. Cool.
So you did the job without signing anything? We
did the job without. You basically signed like, you know, dietary requirements, health requirements.
But you didn't sign a contract?
Nothing contractual.
Yeah, nothing contractual. And this is the main thing where you should have done, innit? Cool. Obviously, you get the breakdown on what you're doing for the fee, innit? Lesson learned anyway. I don't know how we never saw it, but sometimes the excitement of things and you're like, oh, okay, cool, like, job, all right, cool, this is what they're going to do, this is how they're going to process it, this and that. And you find it as it goes on, but you should never do that. And I've done jobs where I've got the agreement before, innit? Cool, we done the job, yeah. Let's say this job was done like roughly like a month and a couple weeks ago now, innit? Now, usually when you're doing TV or film, it doesn't take that long to get processed. But with this situation, because we filmed up in Ireland, yeah, so let's say you go do the job, innit, and you've done it in Ireland. You know, Ireland's obviously it's a separate place now, innit? Like, it's obviously its own little region. So their payment process is a lot more techie than any other place you will go to. But that happens for other countries. Like you might go Bulgaria, they say we're going to do filming here. That payment process will be a lot more of a techie situation because it's international, innit? But at least with the agreement, you know what it is, and you know, obviously, cool. When it comes to tax, you know what you're going to get out after tax. We do the job, cool. Obviously, again, it's just one of those roles you just do in the beginning because you just want to make sure that, alright, cool. Not all jobs are going to be high in glory, but this is still a job at the end of the day. Still builds up your CV. Get here. It's been like 3 weeks. Cool, I know what I'm going to get, but nothing... Like, there's no update from my agent's assistant. Like, obviously, you have, like, an agent's assistant in the payment department. They will tell you what's going on. They'll keep you in the loop of things. Nothing. So I'm like, yo, like, is everything good? They said, yeah. The only thing is that we're waiting for the contract to come through first so then we can agree on certain things.
So, wait, hold on, Paul. So, obviously, yeah, you've done the job without signing a contract.
Yeah.
But now, after the job, you're still waiting for the contract to land.
Yeah, because then that's how the payment process is getting sorted out. So when I got there, I also asked my agent on the very first day, I was like, what's going on with the payment though? Because essentially, even when you're getting, they got this thing called per diems, innit? A per diem is basically like wherever you are, you're basically getting like a certain allowance you can spend, but you don't get that allowance till afterwards. So you're essentially spending your own money. So let's say you both go Spain. They say that you've got...
like a tab.
No, it's like expense.
It's expenditure. That's all it.
And you
like,
can claim your expense.
You claim it back. Yeah.
Keep your receipts in there.
Yeah,
but it's basically that. But you basically get it back in your payment, innit? So that's how it works
everything's
out.
Back end. There's no front end.
Nah, never. Like, unless you're in the music business, then yeah, no acting job.
You can do that in the acting business for sure.
Well, I think once you reach a certain
bro.
stage,
Yeah,
you
once
can-
you reach a certain level, you could be like, listen, I ain't going
I
nowhere.
ain't
till I
reading no
get,
lines
You know what
until I
I mean?
get-
I mean,
Because that's crazy, you
My
know.
reading
Because
fee.
they're basically saying, listen, we're gonna pay you after this, and whatever you spend out there, don't worry, we'll get you back. And it's like,
Yeah,
brother,
the thing is,
no
the
contract.
game's the game, but I
there's
would
no
say,
contract, so they don't actually have to do
well,
that.
in essentially, you're always meant to, and you're still going to get the contract, but initially, you should get it before you do the job in it. You don't do it unless you get a job. Lesson learned in it. But certain situations where you're always gonna get the payment after you've done the job. Like that's always gonna be a situation. Now it depends who you are. You might get some incentive. You might get, if you're say someone like Samuel L. Jackson, you might get like 5% of the gross income. Like that's extra. But man's like a millionaire. Like he's like a millionaire maker, like kind of actor. Like his films speak for himself in it. So he gets the liability to do that. Like he kind of gets like an upper hand on that. Same thing like all the stars, Denzel, Cool, you gotta work your way up to it anyway. But cool, you do your job and then and then obviously I was like, all right, cool. So I knew I was gonna get paid back expenditure. I knew I was gonna get paid back all the fees, But I was like, cool. Obviously you still spend your own money, by the way, but of course you have to spend it under that budget until they give it back to you.
What would do you want to disclose the budget or not?
No, yeah, it's just like, for me, I'll say like the expenditure was like 50 euros
Yeah.
a day. That's cool. Like, more time I want to say anyway. Like, I'm not really buying anything unless I'm on the hotel, whatever, innit? So then you
When I
get
was
back.
at the hotel saying, I'd like to order a
Yeah,
room
100.
service.
Run out the room service.
Wow, toothpaste. Yeah. No, I want the deluxe one.
Bro, you order.
I gave you one yesterday. I know.
Bro,
finished.
Bro, as long as you order whatever you want and it's under the 50 euros, go wild, innit? But essentially, you're still spending your money on the time, innit? So cool, you do that, boom, boom, it comes back to you. I've done it before, but a similar job, but I've actually got the money. Like, what was obviously seen on paper, innit? So this whole situation, the Irish government, it's just basically like they have a whole system of processing it. Once you get everything that's sorted, like the contract, back end, it was a whole situation of like back and forth, which I was like, bro, like it's been taking a while. And there was a group chat with some of the cast members, well, all of us in it. It was like, yo, like, am I bugging us? This thing taking long. It's like, nah, it's taking long for all of us. So we was doing back and forth. Like, we'll be talking. We're like, fam, guess what they told me? Someone in the group chat be like, yeah, they said the same thing. Like, basically, you go do. Or someone be like, hey, do you know what's going on? We'll be like, listen, bro, we just did. Boom. Let's say a month has gone by now, and obviously still no update. I'm like, bro, like, so what is it that else that I need to do? They had a whole situation where basically now they have this thing called you don't know about a PPI or PPS.
I know about PPI. I said, I don't
I know
know
about
why
PPI
PPI's
still.
got anything to do with acting, but that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, but basically, because it's about a whole tax reduction in it, because you're in the island government. So Irish government have this thing where it's like, say if in a contract you're doing a certain job, my daily fee, let's say it's like £500 or what, 500 euros in it. The Irish government have this thing where it's like, if anything goes over 800, let's say you have like a total fee of like 10 grand of a job in it. Now, obviously, if it's 10 grand in total, your daily fee is going to be mad. So it would be essentially over 800 in the day. But let's just say it's not. Let's just say maybe it's 5 grand. Your daily fee is maybe like 500 at best. But because they've seen 5 grand or they've seen the money of the total, they're like, okay, cool. So you're already earning over 800 in a day. We're going to tax you already out half. But instead of them looking at your tax code or whatever, they basically need a PPI, your PPI number that's done by the company. So once the company gives you their PPI, sends you the PPI
What does
number.
PPI stand for?
I actually don't know, bro. But it's just basically something for them to use so then it works against the tax so you don't get taxed on some mad thing. I've done all of that. Back and forth. Everybody had to do it. They had to get a PIN for them to activate the account so then they can go in the account and then sort it out. It was long. It was very, very long and just headache in it. But long story short, the PIN didn't come through on time, so they had to process the money regardless, innit? So let's say like you're owed
Payment protection insurance.
basically, okay.
If you have a
cool.
payment protection insurance, PPI, payout, you may be entitled to a tax refund
Yeah.
on the amount that was deducted. In some cases, tax may have been taken from your PPI payout at a basic rate of 20%, even if you don't usually pay tax.
Bro, these man, they didn't even do 20%. Because the Irish government, they essentially assume, and what's the word is assume, that you already earned over a certain amount in a day, when these times we didn't earn that amount in a day. Let's say we earn like maybe 300 euros in a day. Nowhere near 800, but if they see the grand total, they're like, oh yeah, he's definitely earning over 800. tax them at
Was
50.
it even if you was out there for like 3 months?
Brother, they will tax you at 50%. So
Damn.
it's like, raw. Okay, cool. So the main central thing was that they need the PIN from the PPI number so they can go into your log into your account so that they can reduce the tax. Bro, everybody got their emails saying, cool, this is what you're going to get. Agents done the calculations, especially obviously cool. In the agency, this is the main thing. You're always going to get VAT and you're always going to get commission taken out of it. That's a done deal.
So
Doesn't matter
they
what
so
you
they
do.
sent they sent you lot a figure,
Yeah.
and you lot was like, that's crazy.
They
And then
sent us
you
the
lot-
figure. We knew the figure was coming. But what we didn't know is that when they said about the tax reduction, because the PIN didn't come through on time, instead of them doing like, we knew the rough estimate of like what will be when the tax comes out. This thing took half of everybody's piece. See the amount that came out. Let's say you're owed like $3,000, yeah, bro. That shit tax half of that, and then also VAT and commission. So now you end up with like $1,100 or something like that, innit? Roughly figure, innit? So imagine that's what you're owed. Everybody got like, I won't even say swindle because it's illegal, but we all didn't see it coming. So then obviously it was a whole headache, and now I'm like, right, so this is what we're owed, and then obviously we found out, yeah, but you could claim it back in tax. And I'm like, brother, this was headache for nothing, and like it was just so.
You can claim back in normal tax.
You can claim back in normal tax.
So
You
then
just got to do
what's
long
the
term.
PPI thing for?
No, because they was basically trying to get the PIN on time so then they can reduce the tax that comes, because they have to process the payment regardless. But if they get the PIN on time, they can log into your account, the PPI, whatever.
So what that probably was an emergency tax code, maybe.
Basically that.
This happened to me before. Just call them up. Call.
No, you can't. You have to claim it back because in their contract,
Call HMRC.
yeah,
Say,
100. But again, the main thing was like everybody assumed, cool, this is what we're gonna get now. Then you go see like, nah, forget about what you thought you was getting now. We're gonna cut bare that in half, and you can wait for that later on down the year. So you be like, raw. And then that's the thing. So for me, I was in a place where I was like, I was vexed in a moment. I got over it. Then it gets to a point where you get a little bit upset again. You're like, I still should have seen it coming, but I'm like, all you can do is move on anyway. But at the time, I was just like, bruv, like, headache. Like, and everybody's in the group chat saying the same thing. Like, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, some people actually got a lot more smaller fee than I thought. Like, I thought my thing was like, bro, they capped me.
So certain man got £95 on that. Like, damn.
I'm not gonna say no, it's not P like
no,
that.
you lot violated on that
Yeah.
shit.
It's not P like that, but it's just like raw. Like me personally, I'm not. I ain't gonna say what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Like, to whomever, innit?
No, you don't have to.
Of course.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, to whomever, even in the chat. So when they were saying their fee, I was like,
Oh yeah, so I hate when people do that.
you don't
They
have to
start
tell me.
throwing out bare
Don't tell
numbers.
me your
I'm like-
number. Don't tell me your number.
Like, you don't have to disclose all that.
Just tell me that you didn't get
gas
this.
Up, bruv. Shit, man, I only got $500,000. Fuck.
Damn, is that what you lot got? Shit, man.
And this
I
is
only
not
got
to
quarter
rock.
M.
And you know,
They
it's
shagged me, cuz.
it's peak as well, because you literally be looking for your phone like, yeah, we're all going through the same thing, and then man said the figure. I'm like, boy,
I said, you got worse, case.
I said, damn, yeah,
Look,
yeah.
you just look at the phone like, boy, yeah, you have to chat to your agent, but
Yeah,
that's
you gotta go get that. You know what? This I might firm this.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
man,
saying?
yeah,
You
you
can't firm that.
low key, I did feel a little bit better, but I was like, nah, it's still peak regardless. But yeah, long story short, so it's just like stuff for the business, innit? And obviously, yeah, like the industry's in the drought. Like, this is a position, like even me and your
You
boy
say the
Jordy.
industry's in the drought. What do you mean?
So you lot know about this, you probably won't. In the US, yeah, so basically it's all over the news. There's a writer's strike. So the writer's strike is basically essentially writers are striking in the whole industry, and it's to do with the whole streaming situation and whatnot now.
Streaming.
So, you know, back in the day when, let's say, like, my wife and kids was like, cool, finished like early 2000s, but we still see it on TV, on channel, and all of that now, because it was residuals, innit? Same thing with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You might see it on like Virgin TV, on Channel 4,
Yeah.
residuals, but streaming's taken that kind of element away now. So if you got a new show, all it is really and truly is that you're just really getting income from like what you're seeing on the stream, and that's that. So what it was that a writer, let's say I'm writing Marvel, and I'm writing like I wrote Infinity War in it. So the reason why people are striking, yeah, if I wrote Infinity War, a writer gets like a writer's fee. So I give you let's say 150,000 now in it, but we'll give you that for now. That's obviously what you get when you're writing it. then you get like another 150,000 after the movie's done, innit?
Front end, back end.
But back in the day, what would happen was that, let's say this movie, it's a bit. Nah, we're talking logical sense, man.
Louder.
Man's moving wild.
Wait, what?
He didn't would allow you because you said front end, back end.
No, what? Front end, back end, bro.
Now that, bro.
No, I said it twice. It sounds a bit crazy still.
I was gonna let it slide.
I was just thinking, hey, I think this episode is talking business. I think I've got some business shit to talk about too.
Bro,
and I've
we
got some
can
questions for you, I can't lie.
Bro, we
So
can
let's
talk.
roll. Let's talk business.
Let's talk. But also short. Cool. So let's say now you get 350,000 in total, innit? But then,
Shit, right. If that was me, you think I'm letting that pen run out?
no, but then that's the thing. You wouldn't have to.
It's short.
Nah, bro, it's you.
You won't have to worry though, because like essentially back in the day, you say the profit you make now. So that movie's done a crazy, like obviously Endgame done like 2 billion in it. You innit? Get the back end from that. Mad thing. Cool. You usually get like the figures from that, innit?
Percentage.
Yeah.
You get a percentage.
You're not getting that anymore. Like now, forget about that.
It's just fees, innit?
The fee you got,
That's you.
hold that.
Hold that. Because
And
they
why
want to take the streaming for themselves, right?
Basically, yeah. So they're just trying to keep all that in terms of the streaming industry. So it's like the business now is going to be like, look, cool. Whatever we make now, we make that.
No, but you have to also look deep. This is where like you have to move with the times. Do you get? Because when you say streaming, you mean things like Disney Plus, Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix, yeah.
That's on demand
Amazon.
access. Whereas if you want to get back in the day, you used to only watch TV either on websites illegally. You buy the DVD, which is also another stream of income, or you have to pay for a slot on the TV channel for them to show it. So broadcast or whatever, they're paying to then have their films shown on TV.
No, 100. But
My wife and kids were paying.
the revenue is still going to be crazy.
Yeah, no, the revenue's mad,
Yeah.
but that's like it's like a give and take. Now they no longer need to pay like a mad amount to get because it's on the streaming side.
Here's the thing, yeah. I feel like, and this is going to a lot of the business talk that we might get into, innit? I feel like you can go along with it, or you can put your foot down and be like, well, I'm not having it. Because at the end of the day, if you actually have a choice in the matter, if you have a say in the matter, which is basically what a lot of people are doing, because they've been, when it comes to striking in the US, like, well, Hollywood industry, actors have been doing this for time, people are not getting paid their worth, writers are not getting paid their worth, So if essentially you want to say you want to move the times, cool, but what if I say no? What if I say I don't want to move the times? What if I want to say you're still benefiting?
You want to get left behind.
What if everybody at whole says
That's
stops?
not going to happen because there's going to be certain writers that are right. You know what? They're going to find a way to make it work for them.
I hear you.
The reason I
but
say that
that's what's going
is-
on right now.
But at the end of the day, if something's on the streaming site, that means they're no longer making as much money as you think they are because they're on demand. Like if something's on TV, one, you have to pay mad amount to get on TV. Two, the money you make back off it through adverts alone, it's mad. So there's more cash to sort of go around.
Wait, who's getting money off the adverts?
Whoever's showing the film. I'm talking like if let's say Marvel,
Yeah.
right? They want to have a Marvel film showing on
Yeah.
Channel 4, whatever. There's going to be bare ad breaks.
Yeah.
And that advertiser is paying dumb amounts
Yeah.
because depending on the show as well, your ad fee will change.
And the
So-
slot on TV is
exactly.
crazy. Like
Yeah, but
7
then-
o'clock, 8 o'clock. That's
No, 100%. But then also when you think about the streaming now, the notoriety of the film is also getting larger
But
too.
with streams, the way streaming platforms make money is something needs to be streamed either long enough or some. So for example, you could start a Marvel film, play it for like 5 minutes, they ain't made no bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, streaming, they don't really make that much money. Like rap, like musicians, yeah. And mostly I know about streaming because of musicians. I think it's like 1,200 streams or 1,500 streams
Yeah.
is one
I
sale.
remember we were talking about that. The
mad.
thing is, I
Do you
don't-
get me?
The thing I don't know when it comes to streaming in terms of like the film itself or like
It'll be something similar.
but
Yeah.
different parameters, but similar as in like it goes off of volume. Do you get me? And when I say volume, it's volume in terms of how much it's been played, and they've got all of the data because it's their platform. Like Netflix can come and say, "Well, we're paying you this much because your movie got
This is what
watched
it did, yeah.
this many times." And what you're gonna do, you just have to take it.
No, but the thing is, it's like say like they're gonna still do that, cool. But then you wrote and directed. Let's just say this film goes crazy. It's the same thing with like commercials, isn't it? Commercials is a thing where you used to get residuals off it. So say like that guy on a Halifax advert. Remember that guy with the glasses?
Yeah,
So that was an old contract. Let's say for example he's done the advert now. Halifax kind of likes him though. We're gonna keep bringing this advert back. In fact, we're not even gonna just bring this advert back. We're also going to and also when they bring the advert back, is in sense of terms
well,
of
that
like
black guy, that Halifax, that black guy.
So let's say like cool. you get a buyout fee. Obviously, everyone knows buyout fees like what we're gonna give you straight up. There's the money. Don't worry about the notoriety afterwards. Like no matter how many times it gets replayed, all of that.
This is your check.
This is your check. So say we're gonna give you a buyout fee for 1 year, but that advert plays for more than 1 year. Non-negotiable. But back in the day, it was just a thing where you got paid a certain fee, but then you get your residuals from how many times it gets replayed, regardless of like how many times they're gonna do it.
But
up and
that wasn't like, I wouldn't say it was a given. I would say back in the day it was more of a thing where if you know, you know. So you can get it. You know, like with contracts with business, like you do this near enough every day. So when you have these conversations,
it was a norm for a period of like for a long period of time, and then of course that's when the SAG union and all of this union stuff coming into it now.
Yeah, it's like
when they want to change it up.
It's like with everything, like.
But they want to save money. Companies save money by doing that because we're not going to keep sending you bread.
Exactly.
Just because.
But
No, I hear you.
that's their counter. That's their counter to
Yeah.
people doing it, because obviously we know that, especially in the music industry, this is what people have done. It's like, you know what? No, label. Listen, you don't have to pay me 10 million. Pay me 5. But listen, I want this percentage. How about that?
Exactly. So
And then
writers now need to. That's what I say. You need to get with the times.
No, but you feel me? But then how can they negotiate that,
You're writing, bruv.
bro? End of the day, that's what was going on.
What do you mean,
People,
how can you negotiate? You say, yeah, this is my upfront fee.
yeah,
This is my fee once I finish writing.
and then
And on top of that, okay, maybe my initial fee is not as big as it is, but I'm getting 2.5% of total sales of this film.
and get me this. That's what was going on back in the day. That's what's not happening anymore.
But you can still do that.
It's
You
not.
can't-
It's
you
not.
can't.
Getting, it's not.
But
It depends on. It
contracts.
depends on if you are a long time writer and you've obviously been known in the game. But think about all the shows that we see now.
But I think that is the caveat. That's the that's the thing where people get a little bit mixed up in. Because I was having a conversation with Lanks and this other girl in it. She's also a personal trainer. She ain't been a personal trainer as long as I have, but she's also a personal trainer. Was talking. Obviously, I'm in the city, and some people are more. Most of the PCs I know are mostly like in like residential areas, like where you live, basically. So obviously, we was talking about stuff, talking about like me and Lanks, obviously talking about our two situations. Our two situations are pretty similar. Innit? I'll probably let him come on the pod and talk about it. But our similar situations that we've been in the last like month right now have been pretty similar, where we're talking to big companies, but then big companies are trying to control us a bit. And we want to just say, you know what, we'll just do what we're doing on our own, fine. And it's a risk, because when you're talking to big companies, it's like, yo, this is sick. Like I could be in a scenario, and this is what I wanted to call. I wanted to call you like 2 weeks ago, you know, because I was in negotiations about something, but I just didn't end up calling you. And ironically, I think the other day I was thinking, no, I just to call Johnny. I'll call him in a minute. I just never called you.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Lex was just. I'll talk about it more in depth after in it, but it more so giving our services to a company for a high ticket. However, we could probably get that high ticket alone.
Rule number 1: never go as yourself.
What do you mean never go?
Never go as yourself. You're not Nicholas Harvey. Your brand, your institution. That's how you have to present yourself.
Yeah, stop. But yeah, so me and Lex was talking, yeah, and then obviously this female came into the conversation. This is like 0 day. It was that time when you saw me talking to this girl.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So we was having a business conversation, innit? And then she was basically saying like,
Oh, I know you're talking about.
I told her my price in the city, and she was like,
Trying to come to the city.
no, she was kind of like, yo, why are you not charging more? And I'm like,
Yeah.
more?
Oh, yeah.
You get me? Because I know some PTs that are charging,
like crazy prices and
like 120 an hour,
Yeah.
140. But I'm like,
your council tax bill prices.
do you get me? I'm thinking,
Yeah.
bro, okay, I ain't charging that, but like, you get me? Like, because I understand at the same time, that is expensive. That is a high ticket situation, which I'm not saying like worth that, but at the same time, it's like, you gotta be smart in the game. You can't just go straight and just start going like putting up mad prices. But then at the same time, she opened up my mind to thinking, you gotta think about your value, because then I asked Lanks
That's it. I was
how
literally
much
gonna say that.
how much he's charging for like coaching like kids and that. Bro, I ain't gonna say his price on there, that ain't my business.
But
But
it's mad,
bro,
yeah, it's mad.
you get me? So I'm like,
he's
niggas, that what's going on over there? He
He's
was
loading
like,
up,
yeah,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I can't lie to you. If I leave my yard and I do 2 sessions, it's looking serious. You get
Yeah,
me? I said,
yeah,
I
yeah.
bet. So then that got me thinking. I was thinking, my price is relatively high. You get me? But it's not as high as those 140s, 130s I was just talking about. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, cool. And that made me rethink. And not necessarily rethink like my prices and my whole setup. But at the same time, I thought, okay, cool. This is just a random conversation we've just had amongst 2 people. And for me to sit there and be too narrow-minded to think, you know what, no, it's fine, I know what I'm doing. It's like, no, wait a minute. Like, think about it. Like, have a little bit of open-mindedness of thinking that, no, I can do that and still be as successful as I am now, if not a bit more. Do you feel me? So that's why in your scenario, it's like, why not create a back end and front end? Pure. Like, why not? If it's just in the music industry, it's like, no, bring it to the acting then. Bring it to like your peers. If your peers are all saying the same thing, saying, yo, where's this bread? They're trying to half, they're trying to do something different. It'd be like, hold on a minute. Not gonna lie, guys, I pattern this. I got a front end of this. So whatever you're getting paid in full right now, I got that already.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my other half.
And the
So
thing is, what if, like, for example, I'm just throwing mad ideas, and it might not be sort of like logistical, but let's say all these writers that are part of this union say, you know what, bun it, we're gonna be our own subscription service. Right? So every sort of
Yeah, nothing can stop them. To
every
do that.
film house, every producer, every thingy, they
What,
need
was
to
it dead?
pay.
Oh, sorry, I was just clocked him.
They
now.
need to pay a every film house, whoever wants to make a film, they need to pay a either monthly, quarterly, or yearly subscription to our union or our group to get access to our writers. And you can set up your writers. Okay, you want a dramatic film, these are the writers that you can pick from. You want an actual, these are the right. Like, think smart.
No, they do that, but they have a SAG union, and you have a SAG
but-
union, and you have agencies who represent you,
Yeah,
who
but
would
your
also set
union-
your fee.
Unions are slightly different from my understanding. Like, you have unions for basically
yeah, unions are
every
different still.
profession. Unions are just there for workers' rights.
Union for us is like, say, equity pay, innit? Equity pay is basically equal payment.
Yeah.
So like everyone's going to get paid fairly, innit? But the main thing with the situation that's going on at hand now is the fact that everyone's getting paid fairly, but at the same time, it's like, bro, you're also streaming off crazy numbers, or even if it's a movie's making how many dumb numbers, and that's all they're getting from it. Whereas back in the day, everyone had a percentage more, and they stopped that. So it's like, okay, cool. If you stop that, cool. Then we're gonna stop making everything in the industry move, and it's just basically like what they're doing in the US right now. So everything right now is at a standstill. Like literally, like whoever's even working in the US, they're lucky because either the project they just done or they're doing now was previously in the works.
When you say standstill, what do you mean? Like actors are not
No
acting,
projects,
writers are not
Films
writing?
are not
Everything.
being made, basically.
Everything, like
Word.
everything's getting pushed. So like whatever, if you had a due date for like a certain movie that was meant to get launched in 2024, that's what happened now. Writer strike. Like everybody's put their foot down.
So
So
writers are just backing off. Like
Everybody.
I ain't really trying to do that.
every
I'll be
single
that
one.
one right. Like, fuck it, hey, I'll finish this project.
Hey,
How
for the
much-
right check,
Yeah,
bro. That's what I was
fuck it.
thinking. Like, I
What?
don't know if they'll stop the whole industry. Like the whole industry,
Bro, they've been
that
doing it
industry
right.
is so lucrative.
They've been doing it right now, bro. And that's what's the example of like, alright, cool. When everyone comes together and like, bro, we're all gonna say no. So everything's just been like delayed now. Everything that you thought was gonna get released in, let's say, end of October or November, pushed back.
Well, like this year.
Yeah, 100. So like, let's say
trying to see Black Panther free
Loki's getting obviously released now because lucky enough it was done before the writer strike.
They still doing that Rush Hour 5, yeah, or 4, whatever.
You
They
can
still
put
running
that
that.
in
They
the
still
shelf.
running that.
Hey,
You
what
can put that
right
in the
is
shelf.
striking, bro?
No, I'm just
I'll
saying.
personally pay him to finish
You
that.
feel me? Hey, Jackie Chan. Hey, you niggas. Hey, yo,
That
that shit better drop.
that thing there is shelved
See
up.
Nick there with the strikers. Yo,
Bro, hey,
we'll
yo,
pay
man.
for the writers.
Yeah, that's getting shelved, and everything else. So it's just like right now, obviously for a lot of people, especially actors, it's just a thing where it's just like obviously there's still things going on. In the UK is not really like that. Like the UK, people ain't really getting paid high price at that anyway. So it's a different ball game here. But at the same time, like it's still things happening. But if you're in like good bunch, cool. But yeah, not everything's taken off right now. So this is really a hard time for a lot of creatives. Like you just gotta find a way to make yourself
Does that mean it's
fundamentally
like
move.
a creative recession.
Well, no, because it depends like how you see it. Because like you could be someone who just, if you're used to working off somebody receiving, like giving you work to give, then it's like, alright, cool, like it is a recession for you. Whereas if some people is like, no, I'm still gonna keep training. I might write something. Like you got a lot of actors who write, and like a lot of people direct and all of that. Like there's a lot of hand in hand. Like it's just a time where if you feel like, alright, cool, like I know I can delve into another bag, delve into
So
it, innit?
who is it affecting the most?
I'll say your everyday actor still. Like the one who just like, cool, I'll go on audition this day, or I'll go on audition that day, or someone who's got name, cool. Now, let's just say someone who's got name but's coming up. Like, it's not going to affect someone like Damson or John Boyega, like the big hitters, because like, there's a certain class in it. Like, you're going to get work offered to you. Doesn't mean that work's going to get straight away. But if let's say you're like a working actor who still has to live off auditions, the auditions are getting limited right now, innit? if your dishes are getting limited, then all the scripts that you've been reading and learning lines for, that's coming to a halt right now, isn't it? So things will be done out here. So you might go from having like 5-7 auditions in the week. You'd be lucky if you get one in like the next 3-4. Like it's rough for a lot of people right now.
I would say most industries are probably going through something similar because of obviously COVID and stuff, like because of those.
You know
the
what?
money people lost back then, everyone's trying to make back now.
You know what? Yeah, it was that in 2021, straight off COVID, like a lot of things were getting picked up again, but it was more on the positive end where it was like theatre was tricky because theatre, like people had to be in there, innit? Whereas like film sets, like people just need to get vaccinated. Obviously, be in a bubble for like let's say 2-3 days, and then cool, you're right to film whatever. And obviously, film you can always navigate away in that. Whereas theatre, it's like people sit next to each other, and then also your theatre, like man's got to be around these people as well, like actors, your audience, ticket ushers and whatnot. There's a lot of people in one confined space. Takes a lot for even the average person who's probably got anxiety to come out in public because we're in a health crisis.
And like shows, like how most
100.
of those, you know what I mean? You don't make money off.
Bro, it
the
was
shows
techie
and
for
that,
arting. It was mad
do no
techie.
shows.
It was mad techie, but like film sets has been like now when everything came back up again, it was all like cool, like booming. We need this. So it was good for a good few, but yeah. Then right now it's just like cool. Get it while you can. If you're graceful enough, cool. You got it, cool. You could do a little short film or a little advert.
This is also gonna. That's what I'm saying. Like with every sort of recession or whatever, it's gonna open up a mad opportunity for just like you see these new up and coming writers that they be waiting. Like, oh, you're always going to this guy, cause he's got that history.
Yeah, that normally happens. Yeah,
Because in any negative situation, if you're able to find the
Someone
solution,
you're gone.
ooh,
100%.
we've always said this, and obviously we've experienced it as well. Like so
Yeah,
many
God's
things, like
timing.
even like with cabs and that. Like when Uber came, it was like,
Yeah.
bro, I don't even have to hail up a call. I don't even have to talk to no one to get a cab.
Yeah.
Man could just press a button.
You know, essentially, someone had to be like, whoever created Uber, essentially, they had to be like, bro, man wants to create something where man doesn't have to pay no mad prices for these yellow taxi cabs. In
Man don't
America.
even need credit. Man just got data.
Man's just
You
got
get
data.
me?
As long as I got a little data and a little change,
And look,
you know what I'm
change
saying?
man's account. I'm straight.
Essentially, that's what they had to do. They had to be like, bro, like, fam, man's not paying these prices.
Yeah,
And
make
then-
it affordable.
You get me? And then, boom, out of that.
But that's where that level of that way of thinking needs to be put into like, how can I avoid this? How can I avoid where I'm recession proof? How can I get to a situation where even if it gets a bit tough, I'm not getting bewildered by these little laws and little tricks that these like big brands or big companies are trying to play with.
Producing credits, bro.
Man
Like,
needs to. You
if
get
can
me?
work
It
your way
can't
up
just. It
into
can't just be your merit. You have to think smart. And I think that's what I was like learning from when me and Lex was having a conversation. It was like you can't just think, oh yeah, like when you get to that level, that's when you start charging. No, bro, you got to start finding a way. Do you get me? Find a way
there's
to be
always a
able
way.
to say, you know what, this is where I'm at. And if you disagree, then you're just not the pool of people that I need to be fucking
yeah,
with. Right
there's
now.
always a
It's
way.
these lot.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're able to be like, no, actually, I know you lot don't do it, but I do front end and back end, bro. I'll be 100. Like when people come to me and they go to my agent, they pay me up front, little 50%, 30%, whatever the case may be, and then I finish off at the end.
That is just
I know it's mad.
no.
But
What
that's
I'm,
some
what
shit.
I'm not. I'm saying that's mad. I'm just saying that's just not the thing. Like I hear you on that side of things, on that side of business, music can work, but the best thing is equivalent. I'm seeing a contract and I'm seeing an agreement. I'm gonna negotiate a fee what I'm getting paid, but yeah,
But
in
they do
terms,
front ends and back ends though.
nah,
They do it for adverts and that.
bro, they don't.
What do you mean? I know they
You
do.
do the
I
job.
spoke. You remember homeboy that did the Coca-Cola advert?
Yeah,
He got a front end and back end, bro.
they don't give fronting, bro. I would love to speak to him, but they don't do.
What do you mean? I had a whole conversation with him. He told me how
Bro,
much he got on the
I
front
would
end
love to speak
and
to
how
him.
much he got on the back end.
I would love
But
to
even I've
speak
spoken
to
to
him.
Danielle about that as well.
Nah, I think maybe you might be confusing daily fee and then buyout fee, because that's how it works, bro.
Well, Dave told me.
Trust me,
verbatim.
I would love to speak to them, but bro,
So you don't believe what I'm saying to you about what the conversation I had with them?
as far as I know in the game, I'm in the
Yeah, but
game.
that's what you know, though. There's a difference. Do you get me? Like I'm telling you, from
I'm
these people have been doing it a lot longer than you.
I'm saying I would like to speak to them, like, because for me, if they got something that I don't know, then cool. But as
I
far
just
as I
told
know,
you what they know, what they got that you
this
don't
is
know.
what I don't know though, because at the end of the day, I ain't been told this, and I know a lot of people.
I just told you.
No, what, bro, you telling me and then me still saying that I know this, and in terms of I'm in the game, still ain't been visible to me.
But so if they tell you, then what?
I would love to hear it. I would love to hear
But
it.
what would you say after that if they tell you the same thing?
Fair dues, but I like clarity because how long ago was
I
it when you
just
spoke
told
to
you
them?
though.
Alright, how long ago was it when you spoke to them?
How long was it since I spoke
Yeah,
to my man?
we had that conversation
6 months.
6 months ago. Bro, I'm being genuinely honest. If there's something I don't know, give me his number. I would love to chat to
Give
him.
it IG.
Calm. But let him know that it's your boy, and I would love to speak to
I'll
him.
send you his IG right now, bro. You can DM him. You can ask all the questions you need.
Cool. Because I would love to know that. Because as far as I know, there ain't no such thing as a front end fee, and then they give you money up front, and then they give you money afterwards.
I won't say
Yeah.
front.
He got
I would say
for
there's
Coca Cola. I'll tell you this verbatim. He got X amount. Then he did what he needed to do, acting wise, whatever. Then when he came back, he got X amount.
Yeah, but did they pay him before he did the Coca-Cola job is the question.
Yeah, I just told you that he got paid. So I want you to do a Coca Cola job.
Yeah.
Let's say it's 20K. I'll give you 3K now. I'll give you 17 after, for example.
And this was all before you filmed.
Yeah, he got I just told you the 3K you get
Yeah.
before you film.
I would love to
The
speak to him
17
on
you
it.
get is when
'Cause
you
what
finish
it,
filming.
what it sounds like to me is that it sounds like it's still all a buyout fee, and he had to do the film. He gets this amount now, and then later
the
on,
front
but
end.
after he's filmed, like I don't
then-
know anybody in the industry that will get this before they film.
Get what?
Whatever, like if it's 3K or whatever, like half or quarter
What's
of
a
it.
buyout fee?
Buyout fee is basically what you're gonna get once the thing's done. Let's say you get a buyout fee of like a year, and the year it includes territories of doing commercials all over in North America, the UK, Canada, whatever, in it, and it's gonna be on social media. It includes TikTok, it includes cinema
You get paid
adverts.
that you get consistently paid for that year.
Yeah, that's
The
covering
content
all of
fee.
it. That's all it is. It's covering all of it. So instead of you getting extra money from this amount afterwards, it's like, no, all of that buyout fee covers that. So it just comes into it. So you know that it's going to go all over TikTok. You know it's going to go all over Twitter. You know that they're going to use this like publishing, like licensing all over the place, innit? But your buyout fee is the agreed price you're going to do it for. Now, you don't negotiate high or low. I mean, if you got a good agent, maybe. But really and truly, like, it's a staple, especially for a Coca-Cola advert. You're going to see the buyout fee. Cool. But what you're going to do is that you're going to do the job. Then once you've done the job, they're going to give you a daily fee first. Your daily fee comes through. Your daily fee is basically what they pay for you on the day. That's separate for your
Do you
buyout
know
fee.
anyone that's done like a big advert?
Yeah, my boy. He done the FIFA advert.
FIFA advert. What the World Cup?
FIFA, yeah, the World Cup one. Same thing.
Yeah. I know a couple guys that did FIFA, the game.
Yeah.
What advert was it? You know that advert where the man them change into
Cristiano Ronaldo and them.
players? Yeah.
It was
I know two men that was in that.
is that yours?
Nah.
Or was for the boots, isn't
World
it?
Cup, I think.
Was it 2014
2010?
Nike one?
Maybe 2014.
Because
Yeah.
that advert was sick.
Yeah. I know two men that was in that.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
ask
that
them.
was
I'll
sick.
ask them if they got front end or back end still.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee
It's
again.
gonna be depend. Do you know it is? If anything can go into a contract, do you know what I mean? So one, it depends what type of contract you have.
But
Two,
one thing I would say is that you ain't getting front end, bro. You're
I
not a
don't. I
musician.
personally don't know in it. I'm not in that industry.
Yeah.
I'm just saying anything can be put into a contract. Contract is just an agreement between two parties,
Two merchants.
and it's legally binding. So that means once you sign and you, let's say, and the only thing that makes it, I would say, makes it a bit techie with maybe acting is because more than one person is auditioning for the same role.
Oh, bro,
So
they'll
if-
move on to you.
Exactly. So if you can't, you're not happy with it.
Oh.
That's your problem. We'll go get my man.
We'll get my man. He was a
Exactly.
yes.
But unless you're like Samuel Jackson or Brad Pitt, whoever's like, no, we want you. Then you've got that grounds to negotiate.
Got leeway.
You know what I mean?
You definitely got the grounds.
Yeah. So
I feel like
I
for
wouldn't
them-
say it's impossible. It's just maybe at certain levels it doesn't happen or it's unlikely. But I wouldn't say it's impossible because as far as what can go into the contract, anything, bro. Like a contract can be made with, bro. We've heard stories of like footballers who signed contracts on like napkins, bruv.
Yeah,
They're
that's
like-
wild.
A contract is anything, but it's just an agreement to two people.
Yeah.
In like, yeah, and in the presence of the two people, signed to make it legally binding.
Yeah,
That's literally it.
yeah. Contract game. But I got another thing. Well,
Yeah, man.
I was talking about my week. What's going on with you lot, man?
Bro, it's busy.
Non-stop, man. Non-stop the hustle, bro.
Same old. What you said you had a few questions. Or you had some
So
questions.
it is contract related, yeah. But it's more so like you kind of half answered it when you said that things are obviously open to negotiation with an individual and obviously the contract, like at the end of the day. But give me like 3 techniques that you would use or you have heard of to be used or can be used in a scenario where you want someone to sign this contract, but they're not. They're
So
taking too long.
you basically want to close a deal.
Yeah.
Well,
But it's not going the way you'd like it to go in terms of they've not just signed it straight away now. Now you're thinking, cool, what can I do to get them to sign?
that means you haven't provided enough value for them to sign it. That's the first step. But in order to provide value, you need to know what is value to them. So you need to go back and in sales it's called discovery call. But essentially you might call it like, I don't know, consultant call, whatever, innit?
Yeah.
Where you're understanding what's making them tick, what's their issues, what's their pain points. You want to quantify it as well. So for example, the reason you quantify is because humans, unless you're like mathematic, you're not going to do calculations, but when you hear numbers, it makes it, whatever you're talking about, more believable. Like if I said, bro.
Like a fact, innit?
Yeah, like if I said, bro, you need to get a trim, bro. You look wavy. And if I said, bro, if you've got a trim, you're 5 times more likely to get a job. You'd be like, no, fuck that. I'm getting, you might not need a job, but because you're 5 times more likely to do something, you'd be like, no, I need a trim still. Because it just enhances you, like, with numbers.
Yeah.
Whereas say if you want to sort of like get quantified in a minute. So let's say for example, it's someone and you say, like what's your goals? I want to lift this much. Okay, how long is it taking you to reach that goal? I haven't reached that goal and I've been training for the last 6 years. Okay, well, if I told you in the next 2-3 years you do this and this, you can reach that goal plus execute or
Exceed
it. What would you think? Oh yeah, I think that would be great. Blah blah blah. So you've quantified basically what their pains is. You also want to confirm that if you're able to deliver, they're gonna commit because you want to basically get them to commit before they say yes. They say, if I could do this, would you do that? So if I could provide this, would you sign the contract? Like, yes, because you don't want to give a contract and then wait. So you're gonna sign it, and when you're given the contract or whatever, you want to know at that point that they're therefore gonna sign it.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of, the only thing that will delay it is time in terms of, you know what, I'm not ready yet, or I'll get this done next week, whatever. But you want to 100% know that they're going to get it done. Or I'll say 80% know that they're going to get this done. So, yeah, techniques. In terms of techniques, it's going to be different because...
But that there in itself is something someone can use to...
Yeah, it's just more like steps to get to that point.
Yeah.
Now, techniques is like, there's just different like speaking techniques or dialogue techniques that you can use so there's one of them where you sort of like, you sort of like massage their ego a little bit, like make them feel good about making that decision. Like, listen, like, I know you want to be going on holidays, doing this, blah, blah. Like, listen, man, see these guys at the top off. You could be one of them. You get me?
Yeah,
All of
trust
that.
me. You
So
could be
massage
one of
the
those
ego.
guys, man.
Yeah, or you could sort of
It
like...
could be you, bro.
Exactly, literally like get in their head. It's like literally football, like you get in someone's head. Or
Yeah.
you can like also flare up their ego. Like, listen, like you also make them feel like they're not good enough for your product. But then they get a bit jealous. They're like, what do you mean I'm not good enough?
Yeah.
I'll pay right now.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Like what they did to Shaq. Remember? Do you know what story with Shaq?
Nah.
So basically, he
Who
got
Shaq?
his Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
So he got his first check for basketball, yeah, and he went straight to Mercedes. And he went up in there, but he was just like chilling, just having a look. You know what I'm saying? Like not doing too much, just having a little look. And then someone was like, I think he asked the price or something. And then the salesperson was like, "But listen, like don't waste our time, basically." And he was like, "What?"
Trying to little kind of offend them.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like don't waste my time, whatever." He said
That's a bit brazy to say though.
He bought out a Mercedes cash, drove home. His mum wanted one. drove back, bought her one, drove back. His dad wanted one, drove back, bought. So he bought a madness. But then that small little thing could have been a technique used by that salesperson at that time to make this person feel like they can't buy that shit.
Yeah, you gotta have confidence in yourself for sure.
To just sit there and go.
To bang a line like, don't waste my time though.
You sort of like question the authority. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, for example, you come and say, like, just use a car example. Like, listen, like, come into my dealerships. Like, listen, I'm looking for this new car. Like, listen, man, these are the options you got. Like, you see anything like, yeah, I like this one. Brilliant. This is the price. Jaw drops. You like, what's the issue? Like, it's a bit expensive.
What's the problem?
It's like, is this like, is the price out of your budget? I mean, it's not something we, planned for. Or who else are you making this decision with? You know, the missus. Oh, so your missus is the one that has the final say.
Slap a man's ego in the
Like,
face.
would you, nah.
No,
How much you say? Let me just call my accountant real quick.
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, so you sort of like, so the one of them you can massage their ego. The other one is you can sort of like
Flare the ego.
So like slightly offend them, but not to the point they'll walk away. To the point where you sort of like challenge them, like, I dare you to do better. You get me? And then another one is
this for your business?
No, this is just
This
general.
is just different.
I just want to know
techniques
certain
that you
techniques that people are trying to use on me. And then I can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can have a cat or I understand, hey, I know what you're doing there, though. And don't try to swindle me. I'm paying 90K. I ain't paying 100.
Yeah.
And another one is sort of like, it's like being their friend, but it's like, so there's two. Well, there's another one. There's a
I
give
feel
get
like that
situation.
being your friend thing is the one that like.
Yeah, and
It's
do you know
like-
who does it the best? You go to the butchers. Yeah.
Oh, facts. Them man know how to do it, bro.
Hey,
People's.
go to the butchers. Go to the Indian men that sell phones. Any sort of like Eastern, like Middle Eastern type
yeah,
of
they know their thing
Northern
still.
African.
Yes, brother.
dogs.
Yes, brother.
They'll be like, listen,
facts.
Hey,
No, brother,
I'm
best
telling
in the
you,
market, brother.
you
I
see
tell
this-
you, man. I
this
tell
piece
you.
of chicken breast right here, yeah, for that one piece is £3. Yeah, he's gonna say, listen, brother, chicken breast £10, but for you, my friend, £7.
Yeah, facts. For you,
Best price. Best price.
Best price,
Listen,
best price,
brother.
bro.
You come in here every time.
You know
I
what's-
take care of you. Come on, best price. Come on, brother.
you know what's funny? Yeah, it's
can't
when,
stop.
it's when they actually say it's, but for you, my
But
friend.
for you, my friend,
You know when they bang that line, brother.
and sometimes they'll either be holding like, I don't know, something in their hand, like a knife or something.
They'll
yeah.
drop it in it.
For you, my friend,
For you.
£7.
When it's not knife waggling, because
Fam.
for you, my
For
friend.
you, my friend.
Literally, bro.
Yeah,
So
nah,
there's
they're
that,
very good at that
and
still.
then there's another one where it's give get. So you make them feel like they're getting
Getting
something,
something.
but by you pretending to give something. So for example,
Game. I use this shit.
do you know what's mad? I hope this never goes out. But basically, if for my joy, for one client say, yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you're doing.
I heard your
I know."
shit,
Oh,
bro.
yeah, that's facts, you know. That's
Wait,
what?
I remember this voice from somewhere.
But basically, end of
man
month,
thinks I'm a
we'll
dickhead.
go say like, end of month sales. Bruv, I can have a sale any day of the month, bruv. I don't need it to be end of month. But for you, my friend, you get me?
But for you, my
today,
friend.
hey, last chance saloon, 10% off today.
Today.
Tomorrow it goes back up to full
gone,
price.
it's gone,
and I can't
sorry.
do nothing about it.
Best price. Best price.
Do you know what people do? Well, I don't work from my office nowadays, but back in the day when I was in the office, this was when I wasn't even like in the sales team. I was just like there, just part of the marketing team. I hear people say, "Yeah, listen, I'm not sure I can do that price." They can do that price. I know they can do it. Listen, man, I really don't know if I can do that price. You know what? If I can get my manager to give you that price drop, can you sign by this afternoon? Like, I need that confirmation. Yes. Okay, let me speak to my manager. Put the phone on hold.
I said, dickhead.
Walk around
Walk
the office.
around.
Go play darts.
You get me?
Come back, listen.
Man stretching his irons and that. It's like, yeah.
And the thing is, and one thing you can guarantee that will get you the sell in that moment is you sort of like let them down, and then you tell them you're joking. Now listen, I've got bad news.
It's a deep breath.
They'll be like, damn it. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. We can't do that price. Because it's like they really thought and believe that you can get.
Get him right in there.
They were like,
Go get him in there.
and now they're like, I was so ready to pay that. I'm joking, man. We can do that price. Get the
Hilarious.
contract out, sign it straight away, fam. Like there's so many things, but it's like you have to treat it like a game, really. But the most important thing is being confident in the value you're providing. If you don't believe in what you're providing, the service, the product,
It's over.
you're never selling
There's,
nothing.
there's no point.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's what's nuts, because with that, in terms of treating it like a game, it's important, because a lot of people, when they want to purchase something that they need, they're not thinking it like a game.
Yeah.
They're in an emotional state. They're thinking with
Yeah,
emotion. now.
facts.
So they're thinking like, what you're telling him, I'm not even thinking right. I'm just in this, I don't know, I need it, but that price is too much. And that's all you're thinking about, the price, how much you need it, whether it's worth it. That's all you're not thinking about, hold on, what's he actually saying to me? This guy just said that he needs to go. Like yesterday, he told me that I couldn't have this price. Now he's telling me I can. But you're not even fathoming that right now. But you're in that place and you're going to say yes to a deal that he offered you yesterday and said that you couldn't get it any other day. But you're going to do it anyway. So that's so true. Like, you have to think of it like it is a game, and think about, like, actually, it's a game, a little tug of war. Like, this is a game of chess here. Like, I need to start use certain things. I got to pick up on certain things. The tone of your voice, what you're saying, who you have to speak to after to make the decision, how long it's going to take. But brother, listen. All right, cool. He's used that.
Yeah.
What have I got? What have I got in my armor? You get me? So that's that's important still.
That's wavy though. Like when someone knows how to practice that game, I feel like a lot of people can practice it. I just I've seen them not the most confident person that knows.
But
that
most
doesn't know
people
how to
need
approach
to.
people.
That's the thing, because, and that's why it's a massive skill, like sales or.
Do you feel like you need to? Because then when it comes down to when someone does it to you, you also can.
No, because in general, in life,
You're selling yourself.
you
every
sell
single day.
yourself every day, regardless. So even if you don't even have a job, you still sell yourself for something. You feel me? Like, even if you go speak to a ting, you get me? You gotta sell something, you know what I'm saying? You gotta sell something. No, but you don't sell a dream. That's the one thing we don't sell. But you gotta sell
that.
something.
I love that. Like, that was literally like A1, the way how you brought that back, you know.
Because you have to sell something anyway. So whether you're a business owner or whether you're someone who is selling for a business, or you're someone who wants to be a part of a business, you have to sell yourself at some point. So you have to be smart and understand, like, listen, there's certain things I have to do here. It's like when you go for an interview, you got to understand, like, this person is going to judge you off your first everything. So the first time you shake their hand, look at them in the eyes, or the first words you say, these things are being judged. So you got to come
the other
correct.
thing to add to that is you're always in competition with someone else. Always. So you go to audition, both you, in terms of performance, might be neck and neck. But what's going to make you stand out?
Wow, for neck and neck.
What do you mean?
That's not bad. No, you're stretching it now. No, now you're stretching it.
Who's neck?
I didn't say neck.
What
on
does
neck.
that actually
I said
mean?
Neck
What
and
does-
neck.
No, neck and two necks.
What does that actually mean, though?
What, neck
So
and neck?
do you know what it
Yeah,
mean? Do
you're
you know
meeting
what would
each other
have
neck and
been
neck.
worse? Head and head, head on the head.
Yeah, head to head's a bit more,
Head-to-head's crazy. We say head-to-head's crazy.
a little bit. It's just a bit more distinctive.
But yeah, both of you could, like, neck and neck. Yeah, what's gonna make you stand out is the way you walked into the room, the type of eye contact you was given. If you shook someone's hand, was it a confident handshake or some next flimsy handshake? Do you get me?
Bare fingers.
Do you get me? Did you, when you was going out, did you say, thank you? Did you build rapport briefly? Like, those things, because now they're like, talent-wise, they're both there. But because we know that, get specifically art, it's not just about talent. It's about, if you get picked
Got
for
the
a role,
look as well.
no, forget the looks and all. Of course, you have to. That's your part of your like appearance and all that, which is true. That goes into a lot. Like, the way you look says a lot before you open your mouth.
100.
But they're also going to make a decision. Let's say the shoot is over. It's going to be over like a duration of a month. Yeah, they're going to shoot for a month.
Yeah, can I be with this guy for a month?
Can I spend a month? So that's so for me.
Yeah.
My commitment to someone is, am I happy to use this product for the next 12 months? Because they're signing a minimum 12-month agreement. So I need to provide enough value for them to feel confident to pick us for the next 12 months.
And I have to do something similar in terms of, I have to build that rapport where this person, can I be with this guy for an hour? Can I sit here with this guy 2-3 times a week for an hour? Like, this guy's personality I can't just be terrible at just communicate.
You can be a sick PT, but a terrible.
But bad. Well, I know so many coaches that are, bro, their training's on point. Their information's on point. But they're not personable. They can't have a conversation. They're terrible. Do you get me? But then I also know some PTs that are bad.
Man point at me.
No, I was going to
Oh,
say,
you know
it
someone.
was you remember that guy used to be in our gym, white brother.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Brother.
What man
Clearly qualified, but
Yeah.
he's like, 2 more sets. Yeah. All right, see you next week. Okay. I'm saying, brother,
Yeah.
this is they ain't been with you for longer than like.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
those things are important, and that's where
That one as well. I think.
that's fine. No, wait, hold on. Let me finish my. But that's just so you can go on your own, nigga. But that's where that is. No, it's dead. I'm gonna take care of it. That's where that's important. Like I have to be able to build those things. I think we all three of us have that in us, where it's like these are the things we have to establish to the person that sees us for the first time. Do you feel me? So it's important, man. It's massive.
Yeah. What about those times where it didn't go your way? Like,
Yes, let's
Me
do it. Let's
personally.
talk about it. Hey, Cole, you're podding still.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, you're podding still.
because you know those are
Happens every day.
exactly, and like those are the reality ones where it's like
real.
we all have the right skill set and all of that,
Let's talk about it.
but then you know like it's just a game, innit? Like it just
Bro,
won't
At the
happen.
end of the day, everything's a numbers game, bro. You're gonna win some and you're gonna lose some, but my priority is win more than I lose. That's literally like my priority. Like you can't go do anything and be 100% like all the time. You're gonna have bad days, but it's about having more good days than bad days.
Facts.
But bruv, there's been times where I said, listen, I lined up all the deals. Yeah, I said, yeah, all these contracts are coming in on the last day of the month. None of them came in. I said,
Word.
feck. And then they came in like within the first week of the next month. So I said, what the fuck? Like, I don't need it. I needed it to come in last month, but
It's rough.
Yeah.
And then in my case, it's a similar, but I have that mentality, but only at a certain stage. So with what I do, of course, I'm gonna have a lot. Think about it. Like a lot of people want to get fitter. They want to get stronger.
Oh, your setup is like
So it's
you've
like,
got to have so much patience.
We're talking about out of 100 people that will message me or come up to me in the gym or ask me about PT, 50 of them will actually respond back to my email or follow up text message or whatever, or phone call, whatever the case may be. 25 of them will actually respond back to that. And then 10 of them will actually turn up to the console, and then maybe 2 of them will actually
continue
sign
on.
up.
Yeah,
And then 1 of them will go past 6 months.
yeah.
So it's like, that's the type of industry I'm in. However, when I get them to that console point where it's like, it's just me and you.
yeah, you just
So
you put in the overtime
In
work
that,
at that
for
point.
me, that's where that mentality comes in. Where when we're here, when it's just me and you talking and we're outlining your goals, we're outlining what you want to do and what I can do to help you. My win rate is higher at the moment than my loss rate. However, if we go back, yeah, 100, bro. There'll be hundreds of people that man I could have had, but I don't have it because
It's a numbers game.
the
But
game.
I think all of us can relate. You could be like, how many plays or auditions have you signed up for?
Couple.
How many of them did they get back to you? Or you actually got offered the audition? And then, so you can look it from different stages. How
Yeah,
many
100.
how many things you applied for in general?
Yeah,
Out of the ones that responded back to you, how many of it went to the next stage? Out of the ones that went to the next stage, how many of them were successful?
yeah,
Out of the ones successful, how many of them were now classed as a win?
Yeah.
So it depends on what stage you look at.
100. There's another bit. So with PT, we get like there's some grimy shit.
talk about.
So cancellations, massive, bro.
When you say cancellations, as in like they cancel in the session.
The worst kind. But for some PTs, maybe I should talk about this because there might be some young PTs out there or aspiring anyway. But
Cancelling their program.
no, just cancelling their sessions. So just cancellations. So like, for example, let's just paint a picture. Boom, get up, of course, you're making your commute to the gym, whatever, you're about to PT a client, whatever. 10, 30 minutes before.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. Woke up late. Or
and you made your way and all
you
of
made
that.
your
yeah,
way and
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you're getting prepared. You want to make sure you're prepared for your client, whatever. Innit? Or for example, oh, sorry,
rough.
can't do. Or it's like later on in the evening, for example, yeah. It's the end of the day, end of the week. It's all Thursday and that. Like they're not even in the office on Friday, so this is the last opportunity to even have them. For example,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, got dragged into a meeting tonight. Can't really make our session later. What the whole? What's
Yeah, that's
going
like me.
on?
I get them as well, fam. I'll be like, I've planned my demos and my like presentations, yeah. And then like maybe, and most of mine are over Zoom, innit? Like they'll just decline the Zoom meeting. So hold on.
You woke up early. I
You
woke up early.
accepted it the whole week. An hour before the Zoom's about to happen, you declined it. So was anything right? You just see you declined it. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Like today's been crazy. Blah blah blah. I said, bruv, I had plans to close you at the end of this call. Fam.
Facts.
How you decline? But it's game, innit?
It's part of the game, and then you're sitting there thinking, "Raw," but then that's not even the worst part, man. So then you're thinking, "Okay, cool. I had I'm not even gonna get into it too tough. But
Okay,
let's just say I had these
Get-
clients. Yeah.
Why not, bro?
No, I'm gonna get busy
We
because
chatting.
that's what we need to do to climb the levels. You
We
get me? We gotta
chatting.
give these. We're chatting.
We
so
chatting.
I had these clients, you know. The way I do my business, you pay me before the sessions in it. So you pay me in advance for the month sessions, or even 3 months in advance, 2 months in advance.
I've always had everyone say that that's the best thing for any
Best
PT.
way, best way. Don't do anything else other than that. Hey man, how many sessions do you want? Let's roll.
Increases their commitment as well.
Exactly. Cool. Do
Gotcha, bitch.
that. Got you.
Yes.
Anyway, so they paid everything straight. Cancel the session. Thinking, all right, don't worry, reschedule. Happens, business, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. Reschedule. Cancel, reschedule. This is like a day before, a couple hours before shit. Like I'm thinking, what's going on there? But I ain't tripping. Yeah, been paid. Cool. I have to do the session, whatever. That's another one. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, what's going on there? What is this? This is a time in the day you've chosen. We've negotiated this. Like, this is the best time for you.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get. So I've then asked like one of the OG PTs. I'm like, yo, listen, bro. Like, in what case would you end up getting rid of a client because of their constant cancellations? Like at the end of the day, obviously there's cancellation fees you could charge your clients as well, which is obviously not that crazy. It might be 20% or 30% or 40% or 50% of your hourly rate. But for example, if they're paying all of that, still, what do I do? You get me? I said to him, he was just like, well, if they're paying you, like, don't get rid of them. You
Cash
get me?
them out.
Like,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, I hear that, but bro, like,
It's also jarring at the same
it's
time.
hella jarring. Like,
Yeah,
literally, you're thinking, okay, cool, you planned your day, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you're going to understand that things are going to go wrong. But at the same time, it's like, it's always you. It's always every time. So what is this? Like, what are you doing this for?
You stop working around their schedule and they have to work around your schedule.
100. And then that's what happened, of course. Like, it's like, I'm not going to go out of my way.
I ain't waking up at 6 a.m.
knowing that you're
then I
very
get to the gym
inconsistent
at
client.
7,
But at the
because I
same
cancel.
time, the peak thing about that is also, is that you're building your reputation and integrity as a business, innit? So for example, it's like, I don't want to not do that or think, oh yeah, this person. I want to still be here. Like I'm doing I'm doing my end of the bargain basically, and you want to keep that consistency of doing so, as opposed to not. And then it's like, now you've kind of dragged yourself down because of this type of client. Do you feel me? It's like, no, you know what? I'm going to still be here at 6 a.m., but I'm prepared for my workout. I'm prepared to work out instead, just in case you end up fucking up. You ain't going to start fucking up my shit, where now I'm not coming up and waking up at 6 a.m. because of you. Do you feel me? Because at the end of the day, especially if you've got the same slot every single week, 3 times a week, they're your 6 a.m., for example. It's like, bro, I'm actually at the gym at 6 only because of you, cuz.
Yeah.
Every single week, at least 3 times.
Yeah,
So there's that as well, where it's like, you don't want to be like, I'm doing everything just for you, and it's like, keep letting me down. But at the same time, you don't want to now change your whole lifestyle because of their inconsistency.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like that little tough part. But those are like the hardships of PT and coaching and stuff. That shit is like ball busted. It's like, fam.
Yeah.
One time, because and when you got back to backs, let's say you're in between 2, 3, 4 clients, or whatever, back to back. And let's say you're 4th out of 5 clients cancels, but you're on the first, so you don't even know. You didn't check your phone like that. You're in the session, innit? You get me? And obviously you're thinking, cool. See you later,
Yeah.
Boom. Cut to your next client, and then you check your phone. Done. Oh, sorry. Oh, for fuck.
Does that ruin like?
You're gonna hate me for this.
Yeah, you're gonna hate me. Oh, so sorry for doing you like this, brother.
You're not gonna believe it.
Yeah, you're not gonna believe this, but work.
You know what? But does that ruin your flow sometimes? Where if you're doing back to back and you see that one thing,
The
it's like,
flow,
no.
flow does come down a little, because
That
now it's like you've
second
got
piece.
this weird gap that's like,
Yeah.
what, I don't really want to work out right now.
Yeah,
There ain't nothing I really need to do.
Yeah.
Like, who am I gonna talk? You know what I'm saying? It's like, do
Yeah.
nothing. Like, this is weird.
And it's
You
like
feel
I'm
me?
cleaning
Man,
this bit.
start
I ain't cleaning this place.
cleaning
Yeah,
the-
you know what I'm
gym,
saying?
bruv.
Bros
Just
be like,
keep
you know
yourself
what?
busy.
Man, shit. Man,
Where's
shit.
the duster at?
Yeah, you get me, man.
It's
Just,
fun- it's
this
actually-
channel's been looking dusty.
You know what? It's actually funny though, because there are times where you actually know if a PT's got free time because they're not training, but they're just
They're
chilling.
just there,
They're
innit?
just
Yeah,
chilling,
they're
like,
just there.
they're
But
just really chilling.
part of that is
Getting cold.
the lazy marketing. They're just trying to stand there like, yeah, I'm a coach. Like, just look at me.
Yeah,
and-
look
and
my
come-
side still. Yeah, look my side.
Look at me at some point.
But
so-
do you find that it's kind of also very easy? And this is not me being sexist, ladies. This is literally me. Like, all my friends say the same thing. Like, all my friends that are girls also say the same thing. Like, oh yeah, like I was always like someone who can adjust my form because half the time, like most females will also say, oh yeah, half the time I don't really know if my form's correct. I just need someone to correct
But
me.
it's techie. We had this conversation, innit? It's
Oh, word.
techie. We had this conversation a while ago. Probably like 100 episodes ago, to be fair. But
Mad thing.
yeah, we had this conversation. Like, it's techie for PTs, bro. You pull up on a girl and try and correct her form. She thinks you're moving to them.
It's peak because
And they might take it well or bad. So if they take it well, it's like, no, I'm literally just, that's all. I'm just trying to help you with this, bro.
girl
chill.
might agree to become your client, saying this from personal experience because they're feeling it. Like,
I was about to
Exactly,
say, I was
that's what I'm
gonna say,
saying,
that, like,
Spend more time
does the
with you.
pretty privileged thing play into it? Because I feel like you're a
does,
businessman
bro.
at the end of the day, but it's like everybody has their preferences. Like, yeah, you're a businessman, but let's just say someone comes in here. It's not everyone's personal cup of tea, but he comes in with the same shit that Johnny said. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, me personally, I'll probably reduce the weight. They hear from Johnny. Oh, word, cool. Tell me more.
Talk to me now.
You know what I'm saying? Hear me from my guy though.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, safe.
That's what I'm saying. And
Sure.
it's like,
from a business perspective, this is where you have to really have
You know your value in a
thick
sense.
line that you don't cross. From a business perspective,
Okay.
I'm all for using charm for your gain, for your benefit. Use charm to get the deal over the
Use the
line.
game,
If you
man.
I think we
need to.
all do.
that's
you
what
know
I
mean? We
told
all
one of
do.
this young PT. I tell him because he talks to girls a lot. I'm gonna bring him on the pod soon.
He's like, and they ain't paying you, nigga.
Bro,
Yeah.
that's what he's, bro. When I was
Don't
like,
chat to these guys and they
bare girls, bro, all the time, and he's getting IGs, Snapchat, all this other stuff.
Is he just moving to them? or
And he,
something
no,
like-
100. But listen, I'm saying to him, bro, like, think about it. You should be using them to get as clients. He's
Yeah,
like,
bro.
yeah. But I'm like, no, you're not getting it. Like, I'm trying to wake him up, like, brother.
It's not red.
You're able to talk to so many girls
Yeah.
within X amount of
And
period.
you already
of
are
time.
a PT, bro.
Get what you want from. You can get their IGs, get their
What?
Instagrams, get their numbers, do whatever you want.
I see
So
that.
why don't you just get them to like train with you
I
then?
see
Like, I
you're
don't
doing up
understand it.
DOT
So he probably doesn't
motor.
want to like put that line between them, innit?
And
But
that's the
man's
thing,
already moving
because,
to him,
because,
though.
because he's only focused on that and valuing that,
yeah.
as opposed to, brother, they could be filling your pockets
Yeah,
rather
facts.
than filling your ego or just
Yeah.
getting cheeks.
Yeah.
Bro.
I mean,
Deep it.
technically,
He
if
is
they-
young, but I'm like,
technically,
deep
if they're filling out your pockets, that's still slightly your ego a little bit as well. Like, yeah, I does this. Like, you know, I chat to you.
but at least that pays the bills.
100.
You
I
look
like.
at the things that you get me. That's
sake of just
again,
moving,
and
yeah,
they ain't
yeah.
paying you, bro. Like the hell.
Yeah, you paying you, nigga. I
Right,
heard
there's-
that.
once they start paying you, you can't even try to move to them still. That's
But,
all.
but I think that makes sense. I don't know. Other niggas might feel differently, but I'd rather speak to 100 girls, and they're all paying me, rather than speak to 100 girls and I'm smoking them all.
Yeah, it's like what value?
You'd rather smoke all of them.
No,
I mean,
was just-
why do you disagree?
No, I said no. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, but
Oh,
then,
oh, yeah, yeah.
but you
Like,
know,
speak to 100 girls and you can get paid for them, but you're smoking. That's crazy.
What do you mean?
Speak to 100 girls.
Yeah,
you
and
don't
they're
have
all
to.
paying you.
No, you can't do both. You don't worry about both. Just separate getting paid.
No, that's listen to what I'm saying. Speaking to 100 girls,
Yeah.
and you're smoking them instead of them paying you. That's brazy.
Okay,
that's
cool.
my statement.
Okay,
Okay,
but
cool,
it's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's calm. It's calm. They pay the
The way you
nigga, though,
said it,
right?
yeah, it's
No,
calm
but
if
it's
they
calm
pay.
if they pay the nigga, right?
100.
100.
Smoking them up as well.
What you wrong?
No, not smoking as well. That's
Oh,
crazy.
that's what I'm saying,
No,
bro.
no,
like,
they're
what?
two-
You s-
they're
no, but I
different.
was like, are you differentiating? Like, okay,
Yeah,
so,
no, like you're not.
Okay, cool.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Thick,
no.
thick line.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
because
yeah.
when you said you was like how alright, cool, like smoking the girls and not getting paid is crazy. But I was like, what? So is it alright if they're smoking them up and nigga getting paid at the same time?
That's a whole different. ball
That's
game
a whole
right
nother
there.
next thing.
That's a whole other next thing, right?
That's a whole nother next thing.
Yeah, it's a bit mad.
What about you? What would you rather?
I'd rather keep my shit private. No, I'm playing. No, I'd rather get paid. I'd rather get paid, man.
And that's
Because
what I'm
I personally like the fact it almost goes back to like at least you've known that that's your value. Like you know what you bring. So
what I'm
if you
saying.
have your charm and asset and you know your kind of clientele,
Because that's what I'm telling homeboy. I'm telling homeboy, listen, you're able to talk to these girls
Yeah.
that easy, and it's you're just, then brother, pattern up then, bro. Get them as clients, and you're nice. But
Yeah,
you're not. You're only focusing on that, and it's like that's cool and all,
yeah,
but
yeah.
think about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell, like, use your traits, know your strengths.
You know what? Yeah, I love how we're still chatting about prices and that. Yeah, I don't. You're not on British Gas, are you? What about you?
What like?
British Gas now?
Yeah, I had to think. I was
Yeah,
like,
I'm thinking like, what you mean, bro?
Like nigga, anything. Like
I
what?
want bold, bro.
You're on bulb. You're different,
I think
and I
I'm
commend you.
on British Gas still. If we
Majority
use
of the
utility,
UK.
is that still British
Yeah,
Gas?
yeah, majority of us all are on British Gas
Yeah,
still,
that's British Gas. Still.
bro.
Wow, what's up? Well, the prices are crazy.
We
innit?
talking about prices,
It's a
right?
joke. It's a joke.
To negotiate them.
No, it's a
Brother.
joke. It's a joke. Honestly,
Bro,
it's a joke.
so I saw it on the Telegraph. Yeah, these men are up like 996 M's. They're like basically near a bill, and it's like the court, like the first half of the year. Sales rocketed whilst households are suffering.
Yeah.
And I was like, everything's going up, and like everything. And yet, what was funny when I was watching the HC board talk about this, it was dry. It was like, that's all it's gonna be. That's literally all it's gonna be. And it's like convenience. A lot of people talk about, oh, why don't we strike? And I'm like, bro, I personally believe that.
Because it's cold outside.
I personally believe convenience. It's like, bro, like, listen, I'm just gonna bitch and moan, complain, and it's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna pay this gas bill at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna happen. And it's like, when people say, oh, you see what's going on in the news, I'm like, bro, we are the percentage of people that are like, I always talk to my mum about like when it comes to the prices and that, yeah, she'll tell me about like, look, do you see how much they've really taken for the meter? I'm like, I hear that, but
Bruv, I'm not even watching all that. But maybe it's because it's not something that you're looking off all by yourself.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think when you have kids, it's slightly different, innit? Because you're like, brother, you're out here running up the electricity, bro. You got the TV on, you charging your phone, you got the fan on, and the lights. How much electricity you need? But if you're like, for us, we were like, bruv, it's mad. It's electricity, bro.
Yeah,
It's
just
me,
get-
no,
just
no,
get it
no,
done,
no.
you
I
get
ain't
it-
like,
get it
my
done,
thing's the
bro.
reverse, you know. I'll be real with you. Like,
What?
I'm in a sense where, you know, it's a back and forth a little bit because my mom will complain, and I'm like, if you're complaining, you ain't helping your case, innit? Because I'll be like, if you've left the kitchen, you put the TV kitchen on the kitchen.
Kitchen TV.
You left the TV kitchen on and you've gone upstairs and the TV's still playing. I'm like, bruv, that's just one. That's
But
just
there were
one.
100. Mums do that. Mums
Bro.
do that, innit?
But I'm
My mum
like,
does that.
and I'm like, look, if you're gonna do that,
What?
do it.
My
But
mom's
don't
tight with it. What?
turn it off.
Leave a room light goes off.
What?
Bro,
Mum-
like, you know, you like the stove, the cooker.
yeah.
Mine's, I don't know if yours is a switch as well. You have to turn off when
No, it's fire. It's fire. Is it fire? Is yours?
Yeah, but you have to
Yeah,
turn
but
it
yeah,
off.
there's a switch.
Turn off the switch. Yeah, no, that goes off.
Yeah,
But
No,
everything
my
else
thing
is
runs
like,
on still.
yeah. See,
yeah, my
see
thing
that,
is
see
I
that?
mean, downstairs 1:30 a.m. Start frying.
Hey,
Yeah, P. But
P.
you know what? That reminds me, niggas. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little pot here.
yeah.
You get me? Cause these lights expensive, you know. So you get me? Everybody's
no,
just everybody on. You
there's
get
a
me? Road on, lights them running.
there's a
We got
certain-
everything running. Computer there.
Man said for like a certain day in a certain time period, the niggas' energy bill is crazy. It's like,
Bro,
look,
what?
Monday, Tuesday, did it was fine.
Huh?
How many times do you at home anyways?
Do I do what?
Yeah, how many times are you
you
on?
at home,
You're
nigga?
not really in the yard like that.
I'm never.
Exactly.
No,
This is the only
never.
time.
That's the only
Bro,
time. Like this makes up for a week's
Bro, I
usage
leave
right now.
at 6, 7. I
Yeah.
ain't coming back till these to 10,
yeah,
11,
yeah.
9.
This makes
You
up-
should need us here.
This
balance
makes
it.
up for the week's usage still.
It makes up for the week. This shit's all off all day.
100%. You probably be like, if we stop recording the pod here, you probably be like the 1% of the population that's not have to pay British
Yeah,
gas
bills
like
just
that.
calm
It's
still.
alright for you still. It's alright.
We'll
But
probably
like,
be in here with just the monitor
yeah,
on.
you seem like that kind of guy that was
Oh,
just on a
100,
monitor.
No
no.
lights, just that on.
Yeah, facts.
And you wear the same hoodie.
Yeah, I'm that type of guy. To be
Yeah,
fair.
I'd
Just
imagine
this.
still.
But you know what's nuts? My mum does that. She, bro, complain about bills, whatever, blah blah.
But then she
She'll
ain't helping
go,
it,
go
innit?
upstairs on the phone, TV
TV are
on,
gone.
radio running.
Brother, and we ain't even listening to
We
it.
ain't even listen to it.
It's
Just
like,
background
yo,
noise.
Yeah, TV background noise. I'm like, yo, so then we're not really helping. And it's like, I found that I'm now in a position where I'm like, I'm doing this because you complain about it. And I don't like seeing you complain.
Facts.
So I'm like, what the bills? Talk about electric and then
So why
energy
don't,
and all
like,
that.
You can. What if you start? Alright, cool. Listen, TV needs to go off.
Yeah, no, she ain't listening to me still.
Then complain.
No, that's what I'm saying. But it's jarring. Because I'll be like,
I'll do it. Fam.
stop coming to me with these complaints and telling me about life is crazy right now. But these times you're not helping.
Bruv, me, I'll be like,
Bro,
oh,
she'll
yeah, I
dress
know,
like
man.
this year in
Crazy,
November.
right?
See what Nick's wearing now. She'll be like that in November, October. Like, yeah, it's cold. No. This is what she'll do. She'll dress like it's summer. So say like this now. Let's say it's March, April. You don't really need the heating at all. But if you feel a little draft,
Trust me.
you don't need it.
Don't
but if you,
need
but if you
it.
feel a little something, oh, let's just warm up for like half an hour. I'm
Nah,
like,
man.
bro,
I don't believe the heat needs to be on. In the
I
summer.
personally don't believe that too. I believe,
Summer.
I
Heating don't
personally
need to be
believe I personally believe in April, I'm done with it.
April.
in
I
April-
wash my hands with it.
I don't even look at what month I'm in, fam.
Fam, but
It's
the
just how
thing
I
is,
feel.
you get no, and we go off like that's how I go off like how I feel.
But it's hot though. In summer, it's muggy. It's a bit. It's warm.
It's a bit, and it's like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I feel a little draft on. Let me put the heating on. I'm like, brother, I've got clothes.
I'll draw the curtains. Put a sock on. Bro.
I'll put a sock on. I'll put a high.
You see things
Don't
like that.
dress like it's
I think
summer.
with me, yeah, I'm not even the type of person where man's
getting my
thinking
vent
about it
off
like
it.
that or looking at it. I'm just. I don't touch shit like that. I'm not
just
going down.
naturally be like,
I'm not gonna touch the dial and start
Nah,
putting on
bro,
heating
nah,
and
nah,
everybody.
nah,
Man, just hearing it. If I'm cold,
Yeah.
like we've had this conversation. If man's cold.
That's
I ain't putting on
cold.
heating.
I ain't going to his extreme point.
Yeah, I
but
ain't putting on a
that's-
Monclesi.
Yeah.
Nah, G.
Man ain't
I
doing
ain't
that.
putting on the
So
I
what-
ain't putting on a fur.
Man ain't doing that.
But-
Man ain't doing that. Fam. That stays outside still. But like, it's just like for me, and I feel like there's a whole population in the UK. So when I looked at that price and total, I was like, I feel like there's a lot of complainers. But then it's like, no, you ain't gonna do nothing. You're just gonna let it move to you. But then even you though, you moved away from British gas. Like,
Expensive.
I hear you, but I don't think it'll probably be the same price.
It's still expensive. Like,
How much?